Alrighty, this is a Slick Paint story. It is general audiences, no archive warnings. We have tags for Flower Shop AU, but Slick is the florist. That's it. Fluff. No beta, we die like overwatered cactus. That's a good one. I learned more about flowers writing this today than I did in like the past 5 months. Meet Cudish, and don't ask me to name Fix. Slick has a flower shop named Botan Noir. That's clever. Paint likes to buy flowers from it every couple of weeks. That's pretty much it. Inspired by a convo with some friends where we agreed Slick would have a Crowley Good Omens approach to gardening. Hope y'all like it. Alrighty, whenever you're ready, Alex, take it away.
You frequently like to buy flowers to decorate your apartment. It's not big enough for you to grow your own, but you still enjoy seeing a bit of colorful scenery when you arrive home from your shift at the hospital. And, by occasion, you always end up shopping in the same place. It's a small shop, wedged between a cafe and a boring business building, like it used to be something else and was recently repurposed. You can tell it's a flower shop just by looking at it, with crates full of violets and daisies and other potted plants sitting outside to take in as much sun as they can. A big fern right next to the door, and some garden decorations and utilities stacked behind the shop window, but it still looks cramped and a tiny bit disorganized, Vixens, like it was built in a rush. Nonetheless, you like shopping there because the owner is very nice to you despite what everyone says about him, and because the flowers always look alive. Alive is the best way you can find to describe it in your vocabulary, but it's not quite right. Every plant is alive, you know that much, of course. But the plants from Botanoir seem to thrive longer, appreciate the environment they're in, almost like they're grateful. You're not you're not very sure why you think that. You're simply a customer who buys pansies every couple of weeks. Today you're on your way back from work and it's just about time to replace the flowers on your dining table centerpiece. So you go in, listening to the bell ring and the vague movement coming from the back before the owner comes to greet you. His voice reaches you beforehand, though, a rispid, violent shout, definitely not directed at you, but at someone or something out in the back with him.
If you die, ooh, who's that? There. If you die on me, I swear to Christ, I'll rip your soul out of the pits of hell you're in, bring you back, and make you wish you never fucking sprouted.
Not much time afterwards, he emerges from the doorframe leading to the back. Mr. Slick is what you call him, a thin and coarse man whose expressions make it very clear that he's busy and whoever's speaking to him is interrupting him. Not very approachable at first, and honestly, you were almost surprised he had regular customers apart from yourself. Lately, though, his expression tends to suavize when he notices it's you at the door. You pretend you don't notice.
Hey, doll.
Calls you, apron around his waist and a spray bottle in his slender hand.
Sorry for the delay. Got an order of hydrangeas for a funeral at the back who are having a hard time keeping alive and fresh. Just like the guy they're for, eh?
He chuckles and rests the bottle on the counter, also resting his weight on it by his elbows.
What can I get you?
Oh, I didn't know you did funerals.
You reply, trying to keep a casual conversation.
We do 'em, yeah. Me and my, business partner. We do arrangements for all sorts of big events. Weddings, funerals, graduations, quinceañeras, all kinds. Of course, he takes care of all the business side. I do the flowers.
I see.
You nod along.
Sounds like a blooming business.
He points at you with your silly little pun and guffaws, brow raised and smile wide as it was the funniest thing he's ever heard. Sounds like he has a knack for wordplay. You chuckle too, amused by his reaction, and as soon as his laughter trails down to a chuckle, he puts his hand on his waist and flicks his chin at you.
So, what are you gonna have today? Pansies again? Or are you in the mood for something else?
Hmm, is there anything you recommend?
Is there?
He replies with a chuckle, and then points to the stuffed second half of the shop with rows and rows of starters, potted plants, mulch, and seed packets.
Come on, I got some you might like.
Slip leads you to the corridor made of shelving and merchandise, but before he can reach the many flowers on the rightmost wall, he stops, staring at a deflated peace lily sitting on the big pot on the floor, looking like it's ready to wilt down and die. With an exclamation of incredulity, hmm, incredulity,
Incredulity?
yes, thank you, that. He crouches near it, tugging the leaves so he could check the soil and, you assume, stare at the flower in his eyes.
What are you looking all sad for? I watered you and put you in sunlight yesterday. What else do you want from me? Stop pouting, you're fine.
He looks back up at you, pointing at the plant with his thumb while he gets up.
Peace lilies, such drama queens.
You chuckle at the display, and his expression fluctuates between laughing with you and watching to see your reaction.
You talk to the plants often?
All the time, Miss Paint. You know when people say plants like being talked to? It's not the sound they're responding to, it's the passion.
You can see his hand trailing down to caress the plant's leaves, almost in a touch of affection.
Some people do that by singing or doing some sort of baby cooing noises. Myself, if I'm screaming at you, it means you're worth being screamed at. I'll put this one to catch some more sunlight before I close up today.
He chuckles again and walks you to the stands where most of the potted plants for sale were displayed. You're not very sure what to pick. They all look really beautiful. It's now that you realize exactly what the flowers from Slick's shop. It's now that you realize exactly what the flowers from Slick's shop exhale. It's the passion of someone who'd kill and die for his precious flowers. He presents to you all the different colors and species he has available, but you don't pay much attention. Focused you are on his strong jaw, the way his lidded eyes frown and grow wide and back to his neutral expression as he talks, the way he opens and closes his arms, twists his hands, uses his entire body to convey tone and emotion in a way that captures you, makes you want to hear him talk forever. You stare with a sketch of a smile on your lips, and as he catches your stare, he loses his train of thought, every limb and expression and word tangling onto each other and forming a knot that stumbles out of his mouth in a trailed off mumble. You point at some white orchids hanging on the corner, taking the weight of carrying the conversation off his shoulders and moving on.
I think I'm gonna get some more orchids. I don't know why. You told me the ones I bought last time would last some good few months, but they're already wilting.
Wilton? No way, doll. Are you giving him sunlight?
Yeah, of course.
Nah, that's the thing.
He shook his head, and his demeanor came back to his animated tone of before.
Orchids are shadow plants. They live under trees, right? So they don't need to catch sun. They get all burned.
Oh,
You nod.
that's what I've been doing wrong. I never been a good gardener, but I still love having plants all over my house. It feels bad when I have to throw them away because they end up wilting too soon.
He nods, adjusts one of the plants on his shelf right in front of you, not quite looking you in the eye, and continues the conversation.
Well, that just means I get to see him more often.
Maybe you could teach me.
Huh?
We could get together sometime. You could show me the ropes. I have delicate hands, you see.
You put your palms up as means of illustrating your point with a smile.
I'm a nurse, so I have a gentle touch. I think it would come in handy.
Of course. Yeah, that sounds fine.
He copies your smile.
That sounds great.
Are you free this weekend?
This weekend?
But doesn't give you time to reply.
Yeah, I can do this weekend.
Smile again, and before you can back away, he hands you a little pot with water and pansies.
Here, doll. On the house. You're gonna need test subjects.
Taking the pot with both of your hands, and he smiles back with fondness, almost as if appreciating every detail of yours. As far as you could tell, he really was taking you in, from the tip of your headscarf to the chubby hands now stained, with the dirt seeping from under the pot. You can't help but blush a little. It's almost overwhelming to be noticed this way, and now you can't really blame him for getting flustered either. You bounce on your heels, a way to move the conversation forward.
All right, then. I'll come here on Saturday, past lunch.
You start walking backwards, towards the entrance. Slick nods again and waves you goodbye silently. His hands on his waist and head slightly cocked downwards, a relaxed and confident pose that really makes you want to stay, despite running late to catch the bus home. The sun starts to trickle its way into a sunset, And after you go past the door and step outside, after the bell rings, the last thing you hear is Slick's muffled, raspy voice, full of laughter. No doubt grabbing that peace lily and doing whatever the plant version of an excited shake of the shoulders is.
It's a date.
Oh, that was cute.
That was cute.
I like those stories.
That was cute.